one station. Boston's home for classic soul and R&B. 1090 AM. WILD. Boston.
Reducing or diminishing our buying power for the sake of convenience. For example, those of us who are on public assistance, instead of going to these corner stores, which have, their prices are just outrageous, we do our grocery shopping at a supermarket, and we go to the corner store just out of convenience.
But doesn't it cost money to go to a supermarket? So you spend.
I'm with him 100%. It has to do with planning. It has to do with planning and
as well as if you don't have transportation. Say, for example, here in Milwaukee, there's a grocery store in the black community owned by blacks, and if you spend, I think it's $75 or $80 or more, they have a van service that will take you home.
That's hot.
Okay, so if you can get to the grocery store and you buy your groceries, they will take you home. And there's no extra charge for taking you home. The only requirement is that you spend at least $80 in the store.
It's absolutely right. I mean, I'm with you 100% on that, because I look at the prices in a bodega versus the prices in a supermarket, and I'm looking at a Whole Foods supermarket, which is more expensive than others.
Yeah,
all right. But it's still the Whole Foods is half the price than the bodega.
Well, since we're keeping it real, Dr. Tatum and Stephen, some of the folks on public assistance are there because they don't necessarily plan their lives.
Yeah.
They should be planning to get off of public assistance, right? They should be planning they should be doing a whole lot of other things.
But the fact is that they also don't really know. The people don't know.
But you know what the solution is for that? Number one, they go to church. Some of us, we go to church. So there are, our pastors, as well as some of the mothers, some of the elders in the church can reach out to some of the young ladies as well as the young men and teach them. There is a passage of scripture that speaks to teaching along the wayside. That means you teach as different things come up. You address it, even if it's just a mother of the church or one of the older deacons. Slide up to one of the brothers. How you doing? Or hey, did you whatever. And if they are in regular attendance at the church, then people of the church, if they're paying attention, they will get to know these people. It's just. There are solutions if we look for them. I have, 2 young daughters. I teach them, okay, if there's a problem that comes up, okay, the problem is here, but let's focus on the solution. Where do we find the solution?
Well, I think it even goes even, Stephen, excuse me for a second, but I think it goes even further than that. And the fact is that we need to teach our communities from when they're in elementary school about how much things cost and how there are cost differences and how to actually look at the price of items and decide where it is cheaper to buy things.
But I think the whole thing comes down to a whole culture of financial planning and financial literacy.
And
that's where it has to start with
we don't have in our communities. I think in terms of Stephen's general point, there. The specifics we could argue about. Thank you for your call. Let's go to Will in Chicago. Will, you keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharpton. Good afternoon to both of your guests, and good afternoon to the listening audience. Right quickly, I have 2 main points to make. Number 2 is we should learn to be more tolerant with one another as a race, because I see black women especially sitting up in one of the fastest growing industries in the black community here in Chicago is beauty shops owned by white people, white men. Them black women sit up in there for hours waiting on that white boy to get to the white folk to get to them to fix their hair and won't complain. But when it comes off, it takes too long. I can't go there. She takes too long to get me in. Blah, 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 blah. We need to be more tolerant with one another. And the other one is, it ties into this one is, go to that Christmas tree and get that
what?
white
I didn't hear the first part of what you said. What about the Christmas tree?
go to the Christmas tree, look up under there, and get that white doll from up under there and replace it with a black doll, and then observe how the young girl would treat that white doll as opposed to the black doll. Because Elijah Muhammad said, as you teach a woman, when you teach a woman, you teach the nation. If you teach that young boy, that young black girl to love, honor, and respect herself, she will in turn teach her offspring to love, honor, and respect themselves.
All right, let me hold up a minute, Will. Hold on a minute. Karen, what do you, now you believe in all of us as a human race. Is there a difference between black images in terms of dolls and gifts at Christmas? And not. What do you say to what he's saying? Should we be caught up in the color of dolls, color of toys, or not? Is that yesterday? Thank you for your call, Will.
Unfortunately, it's not yesterday. The Black Doll study was done again very recently, and the same results came forth. Obviously, there's a problem with how blacks are perceived, which is why we need more black images on television. I applaud
black
people
positive
like, I applaud people like, Grey's Anatomy for having, and this is a show that's a universal show, but has black doctors, black chiefs of staff.
So there's nothing wrong with what he's saying.
There's nothing wrong with what he's saying fundamentally.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to put in there positive black images, because we have plenty of black images on television, but not all of them are positive.
And most of the unpositive ones are on black used to be anyway.
But I think Karen's right, and she brought up.
I mean, let's get it out. Do you have a problem with BET?
Yes.
What is it?
Yes, I do.
What is the problem you have with BET?
Well, I have a problem with any network who is so unconscious about the programming when you have an opportunity to do so many things. It's not hard. If ABC can put on Grey's Anatomy, Private Practice, and all these other shows that show us not as these black people, but as people living in America doing normal jobs and having normal lives, then why can't a black network that has black in its name commit itself to the very same thing? If Cosby can do it on NBC, what are you doing?
Okay, so you're saying that when the argument is made, jump in this anytime, Ellie.
Well, I mean, but I think
let me make my point for you, Jeffrey.
But you
anytime.
Be more tolerant of each other. You have to be more tolerant about you. Just because I'm the only man in the studio today.
Wow.
The
outnumbered
argument that they are feeding a market that wants that. You don't buy because you're saying Cosby and them were successful.
Number one show, doctor, lawyer, kids going to college. Oh, spin-off show, college. What? It's not hard.
I'll talk about it after the break.
She's smart. She's not going to let me shortchange her answer. Tatum, Sharpton, Karen Hunter. We'll be right back. More of you on the phones, 1-877-532-5797. We'll be right back after this.
Stay tuned for Keeping It Real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Call 1-877-532-5797. And stay with NewsTalk 1090 AM, WILD, Boston.
Ahoy, mates! And to the people of the city of Boston, still supporting the People Station of classic soul and R&B, 1090 AM WILD. The genius of black radio, your captain, the fly jock, Tom Joyner, with a little heads up for you regarding the fantastic voyage in the year 2011. That's right, it's time to think about either sailing with the TJMS family again or getting on board with them for the first time for the ultimate party with a purpose. And they want you, Boston, to join them. They will be sailing on board the Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas. This is a beautiful sister ship to the Freedom of the Seas they sailed on in 2008. As always, you can expect great seminars, pool parties, theme nights, entertainment, food, and of course, contributing to the Tom Joyner Foundation's ongoing commitment to help keep kids in historically black colleges and universities. So please continue to stay with 1090 AM WILD for more updates on performances and ports as we get closer to the date. For more information, call area code 972-980-SAIL. Once again, that's area code 972-980-7245. The 2011 Fantastic Voyage, hosted by Tom Joyner, hosted by the Tom Joyner Foundation and the Royal Caribbean. See you on deck this year for the Fantastic Voyage 2011. Log on to blackamericaweb.com and stay with 1090 WILD AM for the Tom Joyner Morning Show. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. Or go on the website and hear it for 4 hours if you can't get WILD due to sunrise. sunrise. That web address is blackamericaweb.com. Once again, the TJMS, only on 1090 AM WILD Boston, where music and information is power. That's the People's Station.